and welcome. So, welcome to class. We also have Facebook Live on 2 other computers, so hi everyone. And today's class is about awakening. Today is spring. We have, darkness turns into light. The flowers starting to blossom. Everyone's starting to wake up a little bit by going outside and venturing out more and more because the weather's nice, the sun's shining, and it's just not so cold. So today's class is all about just awakening the body and bringing in and celebrating spring that is finally here. So we're going to get started in an easy sitting position. And we're just going to breathe our natural breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And for those of you that don't know, I'm Jill, and I'm going to be teaching the Vinyasa slow flow. So welcome. And any time in today's class, when I teach for inhale or exhale, if you're not there, then that's okay. Just meet us when you're ready. You don't need to rush the breath. This is your practice, so go as slow as you like. And if there's any pose that you don't like, you can skip it. You can hang out in the pose that you were just in, or go to child's pose. Okay? I'm just going to breathe here again, a natural breath. No restrictions. And your next inhale, let's bring our hands high as you like them to go, above you. And as you exhale, maybe flip the palms so they're facing down, and exhale the hands down to the mat. Inhale the hands back up, maybe they flip up so they're facing the sky and then each other. And then exhale, facing down. Inhale the hands high above you, as high as you'd like them to go. And then exhale down. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale down. Inhale one more time. Exhale down. So here we're going to bring our arms out to a T. And as you inhale, we're going to raise our chest. And then exhale, we're going to give ourselves a big hug. Inhale nice and wide, opening back up. Exhale, big hug. Maybe this time the arms cross over the opposite way. And do a couple of these on your own with your own breath. You go as fast or as slow as you like. And then do one more, and then we'll come to a neutral spine. And bring your hands back to your lap. Then we're going to take a gaze over the right shoulder. And then back to center. And then take a gaze to the left. Back to center, to the right. To the center, and then to the left once more, and then back to center. And just do a couple of neck rolls while you're at it as well. So as you inhale, you're going to bring your head back, and then as you exhale, you're going to bring your chin down to your chest, and then back up. And just do a couple of these. Maybe reverse the direction. And then do one more. We're going to bring our hands in here, bring our hands back up towards the sky as high as you like them to go. And then exhale, flip the palms, coming back down. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale down. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale down. And then do 2 more just like this on your own breath. Beautiful. So we're going to come into a tabletop position, so however that looks to you. So from here, we're going to have our big toes to touch, and then we're going to walk our knees to the outside of our mat, bring our bottom to our heels, and we're going to come into child's pose. So you're going to walk your hands nice and long in front of you. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows and bring your forehead to the forearms, or if you like, you can just make prayer hands and then put your chin on your hands. It's entirely up to you on which one you want to come into. We're just going to take a few breaths here in this pose. So your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. And then we're just going to sit on our heels. And we're just going to come into a hero pose. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale. As we inhale, we're going to stand up on our knees, bring our hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring our arms down to our side and come and sit back down. So inhale all the way back up. Exhale down. Inhale, standing up on your knees. Maybe bring your face to the sky as if you can feel those sunbeams already on you. And then exhale down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. And do 5 of these on your own. As you inhale, you're gathering length and standing nice and tall. And then as you exhale, you're sitting on those heels. And 2 more. You can do it. I'm just doing a variation of the Sun A. 1 last one. Beautiful job. So we're going to come back into our tabletop position. So from here, we're going to curl our toes, and then we're going to shoot our hips up and back for downward facing dog. So here, let's pedal the feet out. Maybe give the head a shake, yes or no. Always ending on a yes. Bring any movement here that feels good in the body. So first down dog of the day. And then we're going to come to stillness. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat, and then walk your feet to your hands. So inhale to a halfway lift, and then exhale, fold, and we're going to toe heel our feet a little wider than our hips, and we're going to have plenty of room for our belly to come in between our thighs. We're going to be nice and heavy here. We're going to come into Ragdoll Pose. So again, keep the head nice and heavy, looking between the thighs. Maybe your hands come to the mat. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you want to sway side to side. You can have a nice, generous bend in the knees here. And then come to stillness. Bring the hands to the mat, and then slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time, having the head come up last. And then when you're here, you can toe heel the feet back together. So in this particular pose, you can have the toes touching with the slight swivel in the heels, or you can have space between the feet, whatever's going to be more comfortable for you in the hip area, okay? And we're just going to do a couple of variations of the Sun A here. As you inhale, we're going to bring our hands nice and tall above us. And then exhale, bring the hands through the heart center, and then down at our side. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, forward fold, bending at the waist, placing your hands on the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bending the knees, you're going to inhale, rise and shine all the way back up. And exhale the hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. Inhale the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, placing your hands on your shins, taking your gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we're going to rise and shine all the way back up, head coming up last. And exhale the hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and shine. Hands all the way up as high as you'd like them to go. Maybe tilt that head so if you're feeling the sun. And then exhale the hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. Inhale the hands back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up, using those core muscles to lift you up. Exhale, hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. We're going to do a few more of those, okay? We're just warming up the body. You got this. Inhale the hands all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Giving yourself a nice bend or a spin to the knees. Raise yourself all the way back up. Hands coming up all the way. Maybe you look at your hands, feeling that sunbeam again. And exhale the hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise and shine all the way back. Exhale, hands through the heart center, and then down at your side. Two more here. Inhale the hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bringing them to the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift, bringing the hands to the shins. Exhale, fold. Bringing yourself all the way back up. Use those core muscles to lift you. Exhale, hands through the heart center, and then at your side. Got one more, you can do this. Inhale the hands all the way back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale the hands to the mat, forward fold. And inhale, raise yourself using those core muscles to lift you. Exhale the hands through the heart center, and then out at the side. Inhale the hands back up. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And this time we're going to place our hands on the mat and come to a high plank position. So you want your fingers spread nice and wide. You want your shoulders over your wrist. And your gaze in between the hands or to the top of the mat. You want to keep breathing here instead of holding the breath. Then exhale into downward facing dog. Let's take a deep breath together in through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. Inhale that right leg nice and high, and then exhale to a high lunge. So we're placing that right foot in between our two hands. We're on the ball of that back foot, and when you feel steady, use those core muscles to lift you all the way up for a high lunge. So we're going to keep that front knee 90 degrees over the ankle. If you need to widen your stance, you can toe view that front foot to the side of the mat or that back foot to the left side. We're going to just take a few moments here, just 2 more breaths. Inhale into warrior 2. So maybe that back foot comes down so it's parallel to the edge of the mat or a slight slant. The arms are out to a T. And take a look at the body. Make sure you're looking right down. We have a tendency to want to come forward in this pose. So if you are forward, push that imaginary wall behind so your torso is nice and straight. Great job. We're going to flip that front palm and inhale into a reverse warrior. So our right hand is in the air, our left hand is at the back leg. We're going to bind at the waist. And as you exhale, we're going to come back into a warrior 2. And we're going to take our left hand and we're going to have it meet our right hand. And as we do that, we're going to come into a high lunge. So that back leg is also going to come with you. So we're going to take that left hand, bring it down into some of that guitar. And as we do so, that back leg is now back into that high lunge position. So if you need to make any adjustments here, so we're going to drop that back leg so it's a 45-degree angle. And we're going to come into warrior 1. So in warrior 1, we're going to bring our hands to our hips. We're going to have the right hip come back, left hip come forward because we want to square the hips to the top of the mat. We're still keeping that right leg 90 degrees over the ankle. We're going to inhale into warrior 2. So if you need to make any slight adjustments with the feet, go ahead. And this time on our exhale, we're going to bring our right elbow to our right knee. That left hand is going to come down and then up. You can either bring it so you're reaching for something in front of you or high above you. We're going to push the right arm and right leg into each other, opening up that side body on the left. Your gaze can be at the hand in the air or at the foot in front of you. Whatever's more comfortable for you. On your next inhale, we're going to use our core muscle. We're going to lift ourselves up into a reverse warrior. So that right hand is going to be in the air, left hand at the back leg or at a bind. And on the next exhale, we're going to rainbow the hands to the mat. And then we're going to bring that left foot and we're going to have it join us on the right foot at the top of the mat. So here we're just in a halfway lift because our hands are on our shins. Bring your shoulders up, back, and down. Bring a space between the shoulders and the ear. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to rise and shine all the way back up. Exhale, our hands through the heart center and then down on our side. Inhale, the hands back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up with the hands, reaching towards the sky. Exhale the hands through the heart center and then out back side. Inhale the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise and shine all the way back up. Exhale the hands to the heart center and then down at the side. Inhale the hands. Nice and tall as if you were looking for that sun. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and come to a high plank position. Again, keeping your fingers spread nice and wide. Shoulders over the wrist. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg nice and high. And then exhale to a high lunge on this side. So we're placing that left foot in between the two hands. We're on the ball of that back foot. And when you feel nice and steady, use those core muscles and lift you all the way back up. Great job. Again, you have the option of toe here in that left foot to the left side of the mat, and then back foot to the right side, opening up the hips a little bit, giving you more of a stance to work with in case this is too much and you feel a lot wobbly. Doing great. We're going to inhale into a warrior two. So we're dropping that back foot, parallel to the edge of the mat, working the other slant. Our arms are out to a T. And then take a look in the mirror. Make sure that your body is nice and straight and you can look down rather than forward. So if you are forward, then push that imaginary wall away and stand nice and tall in warrior two. Good job. We're going to flip that front palm and inhale into a reverse warrior. So we're keeping that right leg, so the knee is 90 degrees over the ankle. Right hand is in the air, left hand is at the back leg. Excuse me, left hand in the air, right hand at the back leg, or at a bind. We're going to come into warrior two once more with the arms. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to have it meet our left hand. And as we do so, we're going to come up on the ball of that back foot and come back into a high lunge. So you're going to face the top of your mat. You're going to face we're going to drop that back foot so it's a 45-degree angle. If you need to, you can shorten your stance. We do want to keep that left knee 90 degrees over our ankle. Hands to your hips. We're going to bring the left hip back, right hip forward this time. So we're squaring the hips to the top of the mat. Inhale your hands nice and tall. See if you can reach that sun. Take a moment here and imagine the feel of the sun on your skin. Maybe tilting your head a little bit. We're going to inhale into warrior two. So make any adjustments to the legs. If you need to widen the stance, go ahead. So we're in warrior two here. Take a look at that front leg. Make sure you can see the big toe. If not, bring the knee to the left pinky, opening up just a little bit. Good job. On our next exhale, we're going to bring that left elbow to the left knee. Our right hand is going to go down and then up. Again, you can have it in front of you like you're reaching for something or high above you. You're going to push the left arm and left leg into each other, opening up that side body. Remembering your breath here. We're going to inhale using our core muscles. We're going to lift ourselves all the way back up for reverse warrior once more. Left hand in the air, right hand at the back leg. Your gaze is going to be to the palm of the left hand. Remember that knee needs to be 90 degrees over the ankle. We're going to exhale and remember the hands to the mat. And this time, instead of stepping to the mat, we're going to bring our left foot to meet our right, and we're going to come to a down dog position. We're just going to take a deep breath here, in through the nose, and a big sigh out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. In through the nose, and a big sigh out through the mouth. Let's lower to our knees. Bring the big toes to touch, walk the knees to the outside of the mat, and come to a child's pose once more. We're just going to take a few breaths here, nothing too long. So come back up to tabletop. We're going to curl our back toes and we're going to come back into downward facing dog. So we're going to shoot our hips up and back once more. And then what I would like for you to do is walk your hands to your feet and then come into a halfway lift and then exhale, fold. And then we're just going to rise slowly. Did your hands come to hop settle. We're going to walk our feet so they're at the edge of our mat, okay? And we're going to come into goddess pose. So we're going to keep our hands here at hop settle. We're going to pretend we have an imaginary wall behind us. And as we come down, we're going to come out down straight. So your toes will be out and your heels in. So bring the toes out, heels in. There you go, great job. And then as you exhale, we're going to slide down that imaginary wall, keeping our shoulders over our hips. So you might notice the hips come slightly forward, and that's okay. And if you need to make any adjustments here, maybe you want to, do a little dance in this pose, opening the hip a little bit. This can be a tough one on the hips and getting them to open. Or you can stay still, it's entirely up to you. Remembering your breath here, our core is nice and tight. So what's helping to lift us up along with the legs. On your next exhale, maybe go down a little bit more. Good job. And then inhale back up. Maybe bring your hands up overhead. And then we're just going to float our hands to our side. We're just going to walk it off here. So on this next one, we're going to bring our feet a little wider than our hips. You're going to make your arms out to a T. Okay? So your wrists and ankles are going to be about in the same place. So we're going to have wide legs in this pose. You can keep your arms out to a T. You can bring them to your waist. It's entirely up to you. We're going to inhale. We're going to rise and shine once more. We're going to feel that sun on our skin. And then exhale into a wide-legged forward fold. Bringing out the waist. Maybe the hands come to the mat. Maybe you grab your big toes, ankles. You're going to keep the head nice and heavy here in this pose. And your weight is actually going to be on the ball of the feet rather than in the heels. If you like, you can make any adjustments here. Maybe you want to move side to side. So if you were moving, we're going to come to stillness. We're going to bring our hands on our hips, and we're going to come into a halfway lift. And then we'll exhale, going to fold. Bring our hands to our hips, and then we're going to bring our toes out, heels in, and we're going to start lowering ourselves to the mat. And when here, You can bring your hands to prayer hands. Maybe pushing the elbows into that fleshy part of the thigh, or excuse me, the knee. Opening up the hips here. We're just going to come into Garland Pose. Remembering your breath here. We're going to bring our hands to the mat. We're going to straighten the legs. So we're at a fold. We're going to bring our hands to our hips and come more into a halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. We're going to inhale and slowly bring ourselves all the way back up. If you need to, you can walk it out. Comes a lot with the feet in the sort of position. So we're going to inhale our hands nice and high. And exhale, forward fold. So from here, we're going to come back into a ragdoll pose. So you can toe heel the feet a little wider than the hips. Bring the belly down. You can have a generous bend in the knees. Maybe your belly wants to go on the thighs or in between the legs. Head will be nice and heavy here. Bringing the hands to the mat, toe heel your feet back together. Again, you can have a slight swivel in the heels with the front toes touching, or you can have space in between the 2 feet. And you want to slowly rise one vertebrae at a time. Have your head come up last. Hands are going to be at your side. So here I want you to bring all 4 points of the feet on the mat. Then we're going to rock forward and backward. Maybe as you get a little taller when you get to the sole of the foot. Just to get a ball of the foot. You stand up on your tiptoes and get nice and tall. And just feel the 4 points of the mat here. Just slowly just moving the body. You know, slowly waking. Some people like to wake up and get right to it. Others like to take a little bit and enjoy that waking up process. And once you feel the 4 points, come to stillness. Inhale the hands to the side. And let's take a deep breath together. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale the hands nice and tall above you. Reaching for the sun once more. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend to the knees. We're going to lift ourselves all the way back up. Seeing if we can reach that sun with our hands. Then exhale the hands through the heart zone and then back down on your side. Inhale the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to rise and shine all the way back up. Exhale, our hands through the heart zone and then down on the side. Inhale the hands as high as you like them to go. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and shine. Exhale, hands to the heart zone and then down on your side. One more, let's do it. Inhale the hands high as you like them to go. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and come back into down dog. So we're going to shoot the hips up and back. So let's take a moment here. You want your fingers spread nice and wide. You can have your legs straight or a nice generous bend. Keeping that head nice and heavy. Maybe you want to walk the dog. Maybe you want to wag the tail. Just bring some movement back into this down dog. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Then we're going to come to stillness. We're going to lower to our knees. And we're going to come into child's pose. So you can either keep the knees together and then walk the hands out, or if it's comfortable, you can widen the hips by bringing the knees to the outside of the mat and then walking the hands. Again, you can have the hands out in front of you. You can grab opposite elbows and lay your hand on the forearm. I'm going to be here for another minute. We're going to inhale back into a tabletop position. We're once more going to sit on our heels. So once more coming into hero's pose. And so we're just going to do a couple more Sundays like we did in the beginning. As we inhale, we're going to sit on our knees, bringing our hands up as high as you like them to go. And then exhale, float them to your side as you sit back down on the heels. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up, nice and tall. Exhale, float down, sit on the heels. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. And then exhale down. And from here, we're just going to switch our hips to one side. We're going to come and sit down. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. And maybe rock side to side, getting on those sit bones. You can take your pierced fingers and grab the big toes. Your arms will be nice and straight. You do want a slight micro bend in the elbows rather than keeping them locked. Bring your shoulders up, back, and down. And then see if you can open the hips by bringing the knees to the mat. Keeping the shoulders away from the ear. Remembering your breath here. You can stay here, or if you like, you can come down. So maybe the elbows push into the fleshy part of the knee, helping to open that hip a little bit wider. Maybe you want to grab your ankles instead of your toes. Either way, if you keep straight up, or if you come all the way down, you do want to keep the shoulders away from the ears. So bring the shoulders up, back, and down, giving some length into the neck. And keeping your gaze on your toes. We'll inhale and slowly rise. Maybe flop the little butterfly legs a little bit to bring in some movement. Then we're going to bring our legs nice and long in front of us, keeping our toes pointed towards the ceiling. We're going to bring them out to a V. If you need to make any adjustments, get into those sit bones. You're going to inhale the hands nice and high, and then as you exhale, you're going to lower down. The hands will come to the mat or in front of you. You can have the hands as close to you or as far away, depends on how far down you want to come into this pose. You do want to keep the toes pointed towards the ceiling though, because you want to keep those legs nice and flexed. Maybe you have a nice bend in the knees, entirely up to you. Just take a moment here. Maybe coming back to the intention of awakening. How does that feel in the body? So we're going to slowly rise. Maybe you walk your hands up. And keeping in the same position, the only thing we're going to change is we're going to bring the right sole of our foot to meet the left thigh. As you inhale, the hands nice and tall above you. When you exhale, you're going to slightly turn to the left and then come down. Maybe your hands grab your toes, your ankle. You just want to keep away from that knee. Feeling a nice stretch in that right side body. See if you can bring your shoulders up, back, and down. Keeping the neck nice and long. We're going to slowly rise once more. Bring our legs out to a V. This time the sole of the left foot's going to meet the right thigh. Inhale, those hands nice and tall. And as you exhale, slightly turn to the right and then come down. Again, maybe you notice that you come down a little further on this side versus that left side, and that's okay. Feeling a nice stretch in the left side body this time. Inhale the hands back up. Bring the legs back out. Maybe you want to bring them long and then just kind of give them a little wiggle. And then we're going to come back onto our sit bones here. We're going to do so mini thing of core. And we're going to lift the right heel off the mat. And then lower. Lift the left heel off the mat. And then lower. And then just keep alternating here. See if you can keep your torso nice and straight so you're still making an L with the body. Maybe your hands come to your side. Maybe you keep them on your lap. And then let's do one more on each side. Woo! All right. I don't know about you, but I felt that one. Yeah. So we're going to come down onto our back, so make sure you're at the top of the mat. You're going to bring the sole of your feet together. You're going to bring your arms nice and long behind, in front of you, and then you're going to slowly lower onto your back. And then once there, let's just take a moment. Bring your hands to your heart, one to your stomach. And just notice the breath here. No judgment. Just noticing. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet to the mat. So on either point towards the ceiling. You're going to toe heel the feet a little wider than the hips. Your arms are going to be nice and long beside you. And maybe roll your shoulders underneath you. And as you inhale, we're going to come into bridge pose. So inhale, we're going to lift the hips. and then exhale, slowly lower, one vertebrae at a time, coming down. We're going to do that again. So bring your hands nice and long beside you. Maybe you notice that the fingertips touch the heels. If not, that's okay too. Roll the shoulders once more in case they came out. And then inhale the hips. And then exhale, lower. Bring the knees into the chest. You need to give yourself a rock side to side. Just releasing any tension in that lower back. And then come to stillness, and then we're going to bring our hands in between our knees and grab the outside of our feet for happy baby. So maybe in this pose you want to stay nice and still. Maybe you want to rock side to side. Maybe one leg wants to go long and then the other. Whatever that inner child wants to do, let it come out and play. Bring the knees back into the chest. Give a rock side to side. Then we're going to lower the feet to the mat. We're going to bring our arms out to a T, or you can cactus the arms. We're going to bring the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. We're going to keep that right foot nice and flexed. You can stay right here and maybe bring your right hand and take it to the thigh or to anywhere on the thigh, and then kind of push just a little bit away, opening that hip just a little bit. So we're going to release that right hand, bring it back to the floor, making a T once more. And then we're going to bring our legs and have them fall to the left side. You can keep your gaze to the ceiling. You can either close your eyes or have a soft gaze. Or if you like a deeper twist, you can take your gaze over that right shoulder. So we have a couple different options here. And you do want to keep both shoulders on the mat, so it's not a matter of getting all the way into the twist, but just feeling a nice stretch in that side body. We are going to be here for a minute. Making sure that breath still has a nice, easy flow. No restrictions or anything. So we're going to come to the left sole of the foot to bring the knee back up. We're going to release that right leg to the floor. Lift the hips and then re-lower them. We're just realigning that spine. We're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee this time. Keeping our arms out to a T. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to take it to your thigh. Just bypass that knee and just give it a little push. Just enough to feel a little stretch. Nothing where it's going to bring you pain. release that left hand. Bring it back out so you're making a T. And then we're going to lower the legs to the right side this time. We're going to keep both shoulders on the mat, so it's not a matter of how deep into the twist you get. And again, your gaze can be to the ceiling, or you can take it over the left shoulder for a deeper stretch. Sole that right foot to the mat. Lower the left leg. Lift the hips. And then give yourself a good evening, a good morning stretch. And then as you exhale, release onto your mat for Savasana. Take up your space, take up your mat. I'm going to sit up, but please continue to lay down. Give yourself a big smile for beautiful practice, releasing any tension around the roof of the mouth. Maybe once more coming to the attention of awakening. Of revival. You reach a point where you feel yourself going through an awakening. You look at what you used to do and who you used to be. It pulps because you realize you believed in and promoted nonsense. You grow, you evolve, and you stop because you no longer operate at that frequency. As a result, there's certain people that you have to walk away from. As a result, you start to realize just how messed up the world is. You want to help. You want to heal. You want to make it a better world. This is how you know you're awakening a higher level of consciousness. Slowly coming back to your breath, maybe deepening the inhales and exhales, and feeling the ground beneath you, holding you, loving you. Think about the toes wiggling and wiggle the toes. Think about the fingers wiggling and wiggle the fingers. Making small movements that gradually turn into little bigger ones, maybe circles with the wrists and with the ankles. And then give yourself one more good morning stretch. And then when you're ready, come into a fetal position on either side, using the lower arm as a pillow, the upper arm placing it on the ground, letting you know that you are here and you are safe. When you are ready, push yourself into an easy sitting position with that upper hand. We're going to finish class with 4 sun salutations. As we inhale, we're going to bring our hands all the way back up. And then exhale, float them down. Maybe notice the palms flip to face the ground. Inhale all the way up, the palms facing towards the sky, feeling the sun on you once more. And then exhale down. Inhale the arms all the way back up. And exhale down. Inhale the hands all the way back up as high as possible. And then as you exhale this time, bringing them through the heart center, and then Asana CTE, bowing the head. I want to thank you for coming today and joining me on celebrating spring, awakening the bodies to the possibilities of the new season. The love light in me honors and cherishes the love light in each of you. Positivity and light. Thank you so much for joining me in person and on video. It's been a joy to welcome spring, March 20th with you guys. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. And thank you all so much for joining me online. Have a wonderful day.